Okay, we are developing the World Factbook in Flask, and so far we've got this server here, which essentially is able to deliver a top page here, which is fixed and there's nothing interesting going on there. And also you can pass in a parameter. You can ask about country number I, and you can see information about country number such and such. Let's just check that works. So we'll run it. So I say Python server server 1. So when I run server 1 in PowerShell, I should be able to load country 100, and it says information about country 100. What's important is that this number here, that 100 or 101, is being picked up by Python and returned in the HTML page here. So I put in the I there, and that I gets passed in as this parameter, and it gets delivered as part of the web page. What I want to do is to turn that into values. So country 0 is Afghanistan, and so when I ask for that, I want it to say Afghanistan. Okay, let's get some data. Stop the server running for the moment, and let's save this as server 2. Save as server 2, and we'll get some data. So I've got some data prepared. This is on the web. This is at proxy.net/world JSON. No, not that one. I want something slightly different to that. That's worldl.json. So this is a list of all the countries in the world. And what I want to do is save it. Well, it looks like I've downloaded it already. So this basically is a list. I don't know if you can see that, but we've got a square bracket here indicating it's a list, and the first country there is Afghanistan, which has got a capital Kabul, it's got a flag, and that's the end of Afghanistan. So from there to there, that's all information about Afghanistan. Then a comma, because the second item is Albania, which starts here and ends there. So we've got information about Albania, the name, the continent it's in, the area, the population, the GDP, the capital, the top level domain, TLD, and a reference to the flag. So that's the data I want, and I'm going to save that on my hard drive. Save as, so we'll put it in world, so that's the right folder, that's the right name, save that. Okay, so good, don't need that anymore. So here, if I do dir, you can see there's worldl, and let me show you how we can get to that in Python. So Python from the command line. Here's Python. First of all, I import JSON, no flask going on here at all, and I can say load, no, it's json.load, open, and then the name of the file, which is worldl.json. Close, close, close. Wow, okay. That's not quite what I wanted, but that is the data. Let's set it equal to something. So I'll say w equals. So w is a list now, and it's got those things in it. I can say what's the length of w. It's a list, and it's got 195 elements in it. I can look at w0, which is all this information about Afghanistan, and I can say w0, and then I can index again. Index first one, the first index is an integer, second index is a string, and for example I can ask for the name of that country, and it tells me it's Afghanistan. I can ask for the continent. Afghanistan is in Asia. Yep. Or I could ask what is the continent of country 100, and that is an African country. Which one? Well, its name is Madagascar. Okay, so Madagascar is in Africa, and it's got a population of that, whatever that is. Can't be 21 million, really, Madagascar? Who'd have thought? 21 million people living in Madagascar. I thought it was a little island. Okay, good. So we've got that data, and we can pull it into we get into Python, and that means we can deliver it as part of our web page the way we wanted. There's other stuff we can do. Let me show you a couple of other things. There's some list interpolation, which is quite neat in Python. So I can say C for C in W, and that just gives me the list that I started with. Yep. Or I can say something like C name for C and W, and that will give me the list just of names. So you can see this is going Afghanistan, Albania, it's just giving me the name, Algeria. Not only that, I can put a condition as well. I can say if C continent equals Europe. So that should give me just the names of the countries in Europe. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. So that's given me Albania, Andorra, Austria. These are all the European countries. Okay, that's all well and good. So we can get the data in and we can do a bit of processing. Let's come out of Python and fix our server. Okay, so this is server 2, and I'm going to do the business that I just did there. So first off, I import JSON, and then I'm going to set w equals json.load open worldl.json. That all looks good. Okay, so that's this stuff here. This happens once at the beginning of the program. So the program starts, it loads in the libraries, it loads the data in, it creates a server, and this line here also, that runs just once. Oh, actually, I'm going to protect that. That should be if name equals main. It's a bit complicated to explain what that does, but essentially that is making sure that when we get to deploy this, it'll start in the right way. Okay, point of loading that data in is so that I can point of loading the data in so that I can access it here. So what I want to do is to pick up wi. Okay, wi name. So that's, oh, done that wrong. Wi name. So what I want to do is return wi name. So if someone asks for country I, instead of getting the letter I, it looks I up in that list W and returns the name of the country. I think we've got a small problem with this, but we'll watch that problem happen. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to start the server. So Python server 2, and check that started with no errors. Here's my web page. Let's look at country 0. And I get a debug message. It says indices must be integers and not Unicode. So essentially this is because I gave a string when I was indexing world, and it was looking for an integer. I don't know if I can show you more explicit down at the bottom of the call stack. We'll see if it's complaining about where they... here we go. It's giving me the right line number. So it's line number 12 in country page, and this is the line it's complaining about. Let's find that line. Line 12 in country page. Line 12 country page. Here it is here. I is a string, and we want it to be an integer. So I was coming as a string. So that is the number 0 or the string 0. Who's to say? Point is, it's picking up the string 0 and we want the number 0, so I can just turn that string into an integer using the Python function. Save that. Because we're in debug mode, it's detected the change and loaded it up. Let's reload, and that gives me Afghanistan, and I should be able to get Madagascar. Yep, and what comes after Madagascar? Malawi. Cool. Okay, so what's happening is we're loading the data in. We can get to a particular element. We can print out the name of it. I could print out other stuff as well. I could print out the continent. So I could say W, got to do that int again, int I, continent. Okay, so that should give me the name of the country and the continent that country's in. Let's reload that. And Malawi is in Africa. Yes, it is. What about country 102? That's Malaysia in Asia. Okay, well, we really should have a space between these. We can put in a space. Whoops, that could have gone better. Plus, no, what's going on? Plus. I think I'm pressing the control button. Plus. Okay, so put in a space. Save that. Reload, and that's Malaysia and Asia with a space. Splendid. So that's pretty much what I wanted. You can give a number and it'll find you the country associated with that number. Terrific. We want more in there, and we're going to do that using templates, and we'll do that in the next video.